Melbourne has 3 airports that we generally use for instrument flight training. You've got Avalon, Essendon, and here at Moorabbin. Now generally the instrument approaches that people fly are the ILS or the VOR at Avalon, there's an ILS at Essendon, and the RNP or RNAV here at Moorabbin, or the NDB sometimes gets used as well. That's basically every type of instrument approach you might want to fly in a very small area in an already fairly congested airspace. So they put in place a slot booking system. We've actually had it for a couple of years now, where you can book an approach at Essendon, Avalon, or here in Moorabbin. And interestingly, when I booked a couple of approaches for myself on the flight I'm about to do now, I noticed that the schedule was quite busy. In fact, I could only really find one slot, one 15-minute slot for Echo Yankee Zulu in amongst everybody else, who on a beautiful blue sky day like this today, I think everyone's basically got the same idea as me. So I think this is going to be a fairly busy flight, very good practice, but a busy flight nonetheless around the airspace in Melbourne. Actually, whilst I'm doing this, if anyone's got a good recommendation for an iPad mount for the cockpit, I know there's a billion out there and I don't want to start the whole this versus that. I use this one. This is the RAM mount. I think they call it the Easy Roller, which is very solid and it holds the iPad really well. But if you have a look here at the top, when you're actually clipping it in, I think at some point I'm going to end up cracking the screen because it really holds onto the iPad very, very strongly. That's what I want. I want something that holds the iPad firmly next to me, but I want to be able to take it in and out very easily without having to kind of clip it in every time. So any recommendations, gratefully appreciated.
Pressure check, alternator master switches, engine parameters. Before taxiing, flaps up. Moorabbin ground, Echo Yankee Zulu is IFR for Moorabbin, 1 POB, taxiing via the run-up bay.
Echo Yankee Zulu, thanks. Triple run-up's complete.
Okay, so alright, 80s, we've got doors, I checked, caps handle pin removed, seatbelts and shoulder harnesses, fuel pump goes on to boost, flaps 50%, transponder is set, it's just 3000 at the moment, we haven't been given a code. Check the left magneto, right magneto, back to both, back to idle, autopilot is disconnected, air conditioner, we'll keep it on for the minute because it's actually about 25 degrees Celsius here in Melbourne, spring has sprung. Echo Yankee Zulu in the northern run-up bay, received Romeo, request taxi 35 left, departure via Samick.
Echo Yankee Zulu, taxi holding point Alpha 8, runway 35 left, and say again your POB.
Taxi holding point Alpha 8, 35 left, 1 POB, Echo Yankee Zulu. And we do one of the hardest things in IFR flying, which is writing down a clearance, reading it back whilst trying to taxi in a straight line. What you want as a pilot is you want to get to the holding point before they issue you your clearance.
Take a kilo, taxi apron.
Because then you're stopped and you can write it down.
Echo Yankee Zulu, just a short delay at the holding point number 2 in the class Charlie airspace.
Understood, Echo Yankee Zulu. But that's good, got to look at the positives, it gives me time to write my clearance down. There's a couple of trainer aircraft in front of me and I wonder if they're actually the ones who are ahead of me in the schedule to be doing the ILS at Avalon as well. So that's why the controller just told me there might be a delay because there's other aircraft in class Charlie, Melbourne's controlled airspace. Anyway, we make good use of our time. So what we do is even though I'm stopped now, I can do my lineup check. So fuel pump's on, mixture will go full rich when we go up. Everything's checked across here. Switches, pitot heat will go on. Transponder, I haven't got a code yet, but yoke full and free. Alright, so the aircraft is ready to take off, but from a clearance perspective, we're not.
Ground uniform Mike 6 Echo Yankee Zulu, cleared to Moorabbin via Samig, flight plan route 3000, squawk 4365.
Cleared Moorabbin via Samig, planned route 3000, 4365, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Yankee Zulu, passing 2500, contact departures 129.4.
2500, 129.4, Echo Yankee Zulu. 4365. Moorabbin Tower, Echo Yankee Zulu is ready, holding point Alpha 8, departure via Samig.
Echo Yankee Zulu Tower, line up and wait, just want to cross midfield.
Line up and wait, Echo Yankee Zulu. Alright, line up, mixture goes full rich.
Moorabbin Tower, this is a helicopter.
Heat comes on.
Echo Yankee Zulu, additional traffic is the helicopter just on the upwind. They'll be departing on upwind at 700 feet. Clear for takeoff.
Traffic in sight and clear for takeoff, Echo Yankee Zulu. Alright, power is in. Airspeed is increasing on both. And we got 75 knots.
Bobbing Tower, Cessna 172 Kilo Yankee Whiskey, ready, runway 3 flaps left.
And no runway, flaps go away. Make a left turn.
Foxtrot Papa, cleared to land, roll through is approved.
Alright, we're airborne, so we're just looking to pick up our track. That is our track, which we're on nicely. and it was 2,500. We're going to contact Melbourne, so we don't need to get them for another 400 feet. Melbourne departures, Echo Yankee Zulu, passing 2,600, climbing 3,000.
Echo Yankee Zulu, departures, G'day, identified.
Echo Yankee Zulu. That's all we get for the moment. And I'm not actually going to put it into like a fast cruise that I normally would if we were actually going somewhere. What I'm going to do is actually bring us back to about 65% power. I don't want to rush to the ILS. I've said that before in this channel. I'm going to give myself time between now and the ILS. So it's not about getting there as quickly as possible. It's about giving myself time to go through all my checks. And we want Avalon. And because I'm on vectors, I'm going to leave that on there and I'm just going to go to load approach. And what that'll give me now is see that kind of extended centre line sticking out of the ILS here. And it also reads on my Garmin pilot, so I'll just activate it on here. And then I'll keep going through my checklist. So approach is loaded, brief the chart. Let's get the ATIS, so we'll brief the chart and get the ATIS at the same time. So ATIS is 1182.
On the first contact with Avalon.
Minimums, we're going to set our minimums today, which are going to be 290. Missed approach altitude is 3,000, which we're on at the moment anyway. I'm not doing a circling approach. QNH is set, no lighting issues. Autopilot is in heading mode. ILS frequency, course is 176. Enter that. Course is set, frequency double checked. We're not doing a GPS approach. Approach speed, we want to go to 120 knots.
Echo Yankee Zulu, turn left heading 280.
Left 280, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Echo Yankee Zulu, contact Avalon approach 133.55, good day.
13355, Echo Yankee Zulu. Avalon approach, Echo Yankee Zulu, heading 280, 3000, and we have information golf.
Echo Yankee Zulu, good day, approach, continue heading 280, this is for base leg.
Continue heading, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Echo Yankee Zulu, turn left heading 250, I may take you through the localizer sequencing.
Left 250, and yeah, no worries, Echo Yankee Zulu. Yeah, so taking me through the localizer means the runway is almost just off to my left now. And you imagine this sort of centre line being drawn out. Instead of turning me onto that centre line, he's going to fly me past, then fly me back, and then onto the runway. So there we go, through the localizer.
Echo Yankee Zulu, you've just passed through the localizer now. Turn left heading 150, twin set, cleared ILS approach runway 18.
Left 150, cleared ILS 18, Echo Yankee Zulu. It might be a little bit tight, but we should be alright. I also need to make sure I'm under my flap speed, really start to slow the aircraft down from cruise into landing configuration. Echo Yankee Zulu, established on the localizer.
Echo Yankee Zulu, thanks. At the minimum, make publish missed approach report doing so.
And there's the glide slope coming in, so we'll start our descent downhill now. We'll try and maintain a nice 100 knots, nice and stable. And the next check height is going to be Icano, which is 1,340, and we're 2,360 at the moment. Distance to Icano is 4.5 miles, and we should be at 1,340. Sorry, distance to Icano is, I was going to say, that doesn't sound right. It's 4.5 miles to the airport, so we're spot on in terms of the glide slope, localizer. I mean, it's obviously a beautiful blue sky day, so I can see the airport dead ahead. It's actually quite amazing. We're so close to the runway, but I've still got another 400 feet that I can still descend to. So if I was in cloud now, I could still continue this approach.
Minimums,
there we go. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to go full power, lots of right rudder. Echo Yankee Zulu in the missed approach, climbing 3,000. Just looking now to go into Moorabbin via the 35 RNP.
Echo Yankee Zulu, roger. Expect that. Echo Yankee Zulu, your position just inside 2 miles south of Avalon. Resume your navigation, turn left visual, track direct to Moorabbin Sierra Alpha.
So now we've got direct to Moorabbin Sierra Alpha is the inbound point for the RNAV. So as you can see, we're turning off the ILS here, and this purple line is where we're going. There's Moorabbin Sierra Alpha, and that will take us back into Moorabbin again. So now here I can go to Moorabbin, I can go to procedures,
Echo Oscar Romeo.
load my RNAV chart on here. So I go from the ILS now into the RNAV.
November Lima, India, Avalon approach.
It's nice just to take a second just to enjoy the view between the two approaches.
Clear of Avalon airspace.
Melbourne Centre, Echo Yankee Zulu, maintaining 3,000.
Echo Yankee Zulu, will you be straight into the approach or via a holding pattern device?
We could do one hold, we'll just go direct into the hold with one hold and then into the RNAV, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Echo Yankee Zulu, roger. There's no traffic for you to descend to 2,600 when you're ready.
Echo Yankee Zulu, copy. So the inbound course is 054 and it's a left turn and it's a 1 minute leg. I can preview that. So because that looks like that, I'm going to go load hold. And we've got to descend to 2,600, which to be honest I may as well do now. And just thinking ahead whilst we have a little bit of time, I can set up Moorabbin Tower, which I've got. I can get the 80s for Moorabbin, which isn't that, that's the one.
Information at Romeo.
And because it's an RNAV, I can do a rain check. It's already got the time that I'm going to be there because it knows how long it's going to take to get there and rain available. That just tells me that the satellites will be in the right position for me to be able to do that approach. And as we come up to the hold now, the current track, the magenta track, will change. And the hold itself, there we go, the hold itself should become active. So the aircraft knows now that it needs to fly the holding pattern as opposed to kicking on to this leg here, which would actually then continue to fly the approach. So we're going to do one lap and then go in to Moorabbin via the RNP. Okay, and we are coming onto the outbound leg of the holding pattern, so we'll just level off here. And then we turn left. I can click on unsuspend. That takes the hold out and activates this leg now, so we'll be going to Moorabbin Sierra Alpha and then onwards to Sierra India, Sierra Foxtrot, and then home for a cup of tea. Echo Yankee Zulu, hold complete, request traffic for the 35 right RMP.
Echo Yankee Zulu, there is VFR traffic just south of Karen, but I'll keep you updated on them.
I've got traffic above me apparently, 2,000 feet above me. Not sure where they are. And down we go.
Echo Yankee Zulu, have a pair of VFR aircraft to the east yourself, 1 to 2 miles, you're 3 o'clock, 1,500 feet tracking westbound. The other one's in your 2 o'clock position, 1,900 feet tracking south, about a mile at your right hand side in 1 minute.
Copied, looking for both, not visual with either yet, Echo Yankee Zulu. Romeo Tower, Echo Yankee Zulu, inbound on the 35 RMP, visual with Romeo.
Echo Yankee Zulu, Moorabbin Tower, join final 35 left.
Final 35 left, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Echo Yankee Zulu, change the sequence, follow a Cessna late downwind, you may need to widen out to your left to do so.
Ah, got him. Yeah, I've got him.
Echo Yankee Zulu, that Cessna's on a close late base.
That traffic in front of me is ahead, they're good. Traffic is coming in behind me, so I've got to keep it tight. I'm also a little bit high now, and I've got to come down on the speed, and now I've got traffic, and I've got minimums. Everything is happening. This is very, very good practice on days like this.
General broadcast tower wind maximum 5 knots.
This might be a go around.
The request traffic.
Echo Yankee Zulu going around.
Traffic 12 o'clock, altitude unavailable.
I had no chance of getting in there. He was still on the runway.
Echo Yankee Zulu, make left turn.
Left turn, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Tell Uniform Mike, expect late clearance.
Tell Uniform Mike.
Echo Yankee Zulu, late downwind 35 left.
Echo Yankee Zulu, number 1.
Echo Yankee Zulu.
Station at Karam, remain outside Class Delta airspace.
Oh no, it's too busy.
Minimums. Traffic.
Echo Yankee Zulu, clear to land.
Clear to land, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Can broadcast multiple aircraft at Karam, opposite direction.
Every flight is a good opportunity to learn something, isn't it? There was me thinking all the traffic was going to be out to Avalon doing the practice instrument approaches like I was today, but no, I was completely wrong. There was a bit of traffic out there, admittedly. All of the traffic, though, was right here in Moorabbin. Great flight. Thanks, Echo Yankee Zulu.